Hey everyone, it's Chris from Travel Jumble and we are back with our travel news for the week, and as usual we'll be covering off flights, hotels, cruises and more. We hope you find it insightful, and before we get started, can you please, if you haven't already, click on that subscribe button and also on the alert notification bell, so every time we release a video you'll be notified and you won't miss out on our travel news, travel deals or whatever else we're putting out on YouTube. So yes, thank you very much if you are tuning in again, and let's get into the travel news. So starting with airline news, we continue with the story that has been dominating the industry now in the UK, which is the 14-day quarantine for people arriving in the UK from anywhere. So it's had widespread criticism, and now British Airways, EasyJet and Ryanair have sort of filed legal action together to the government. They want a judicial review of the plans, as they think it's unlawful. They believe it's worse than some of the quarantine rules that are in place for people who actually have symptoms of COVID, and there's no scientific evidence to say that we shouldn't be allowing people back into the country from other countries that have a lower infection rate than our own, which I 100% agree with. I understand the fears of a second wave and all of those things, but when there's no scientific evidence to back that up, I think they probably do have a case here to be looked at. So we'll see how that continues, and hopefully in the next coming weeks it looks as though the travel industry is ready and gearing up to get started again, with a lot of airlines saying they are going to start flights in July. So I'm hoping that is the case. By all means, if there is a second wave, close it down again, but at the moment there is no reason to put these kind of quarantine rules in place. And at Gatwick Airport, they will be opening the North Terminal today. So that has been closed for some time now. They have put in procedures in place, so passengers and staff alike will have to wear face masks around the airport. Social distancing will be implemented across the airport, so whether that be whether you're queuing for check-in or at the gate. Seating, they'll be spaced out around the airport as well, pubs, restaurants. So social distancing will be throughout the airport as well. Deep cleaning regularly. So obviously everyone's taking it seriously, but it's good to see that they're opening back up as airlines are ramping up their capacity for the summer. So that's good news as well. Another piece of good news from Etihad. They have announced a new voucher scheme to entice people back into the air. They are offering, if you have a booking, a flight with them in the near future, before, I think it's before August 1st, they will give you half the cost of that flight back as a voucher for you to use on another flight after August 1st. So I'm expecting to see a lot of these kind of deals coming up now to get people travelling again, as even though they are going to be travelling again, demand is going to be low, and it is going to be, or a lot lower than normal anyway, and it may remain that way for some time. So the more incentives airlines can put out there, the better, and hopefully numbers can start to ramp up again. So there's some bad news out of Heathrow Airport. They have seen such a huge drop in numbers, as everyone has. I think 228,000 people passed through the airport in May. That's a drop of 97% from this time last year. So huge numbers there, and because of this, they are looking to further job cuts, unfortunately, although they are looking at how they can minimise that risk. It's crazy, and I just hope that anyone that does lose their job, there's going to be a lot of people fighting for jobs out there. I just hope that we can, the travel industry can recover quicker than people think, so people can get back to working in the airports, and there's so many jobs there in whether it's retail or hospitality, and so many things behind the scenes. It's so sad that so many people are going to be losing their jobs, but hopefully they can get them back in the near future. So EasyJet, in some good news, have added some new routes out of London Luton for next year, so the summer of 2021. I've got the list here, so just bear with me. You will now be able to go to Zakynthos in Greece, Larnaca in Cyprus, Fuerteventura and Gran Canaria in the Canary Islands, and Marrakesh in Morocco, and possibly, I think as well, it was, yes, Bulgaria. Varna in Bulgaria is up and coming destination there. So some good news there, where airlines are still looking to expand their routes in different places. Even though they haven't been flying anywhere at the moment, it's good to see that more offerings are coming out, and I expect that to happen again. They will probably have more offerings in all airports that they fly from, to try and get that demand back for people wanting to fly. So good news there for the final piece of news on the airline industry. So let's move on now to the next section, which is the hotel news. Hotel chain Iberostar are opening their first hotel in their first phase of hotel openings that they're going to be doing. This is in Majorca, so Hotel Iberostar Cristina will be the first to open, where staff will be invited first to try out all the new ways of looking after yourself in the wake of COVID-19. So everything that they've put in place, they'll be there to test it first before welcoming back guests. They will then start opening more hotels across the island in Spain, Greece, Montenegro. So good news there again, that people are really thinking about opening up now and getting customers back. So in Dubai, the famous Atlantis, the Palm Resort has put in a hygiene officer to oversee the new cleanliness program. On arrival, guests will have the opportunity to have their luggage sanitized. They will have their temperatures checked, and in their rooms they will also have a hygiene kit and a fitness kit as well. So in the hygiene kit, there'll be all the protective wear that people would need if they want to use that, and sanitizing products as well. So again, a big hotel like that, a big hotel, such a well-known hotel, should be able to eat that cost up, and provide the customers with the things that they need. So yeah, a good move there as well, making people feel comfortable wanting to visit again. On to cruise news now. The first bit isn't technically a cruise as such, but it's good to see that in London, the clipper boats that carry customers up and down the Thames to various locations, they are going to be back up and running shortly. So again, nice to see as London starts to build back up as well, trying to get that. It's not the same, I guess, going to London and these things aren't running. London's all about the hustle and bustle and so many things going on. So it's good to see that more options are coming back to people to be able to move around, because people may use them for commuting to work, or just to get a good view of London from the river. But yeah, great news that they're coming back too. In the cruise industry, the company Cunard, who are owned by Carnival Corporation, they are just the latest in a long line of companies to push their dates back for potential reopening. So a couple of their ships have been moved to November 1st and a couple to November 23rd, I think. So that's again quite a long delay. As we see, like I said, airlines are opening up from July, and some are already started now. The cruise lines, though, there aren't really any protocols or plans in place yet, hence why they're pushing this back. And because there have been so many stories, I guess, in the news of people stuck on ships when they've come back into a country, that they need to make sure that they get this right, because an outbreak on a ship is contained in that area and will move so quickly around it that they can't afford to come back and not be able to combat that. So let's hope that they do come up with something in the near future so people can get back cruising again. And finally, just another couple of quick bits. So in the Caribbean, Aruba is opening up over the next few weeks, starting with neighbouring islands and then international visitors. And then after that, we also have, not after that, sorry, Jamaica at the moment is starting to reopen as well to international customers. So that's good news there. These small islands that depend so heavily on tourism starting to reopen again. And to end on a little bit of good news again, so Southern Europe has seen, as soon as a lot of nations have said that their borders are reopening, a big jump already in international bookings for flights, for hotels, etc. So good news there. There are plenty of places around Europe which appear, by the numbers they have provided, to be really safe to visit. So I'm hoping, again, as our numbers continue to drop in the UK, that we are going to be able to fly without these quarantine rules in the very near future, and we can all have a well-deserved break. I know I need it, and I'm sure there are people a lot worse off than me for many reasons that have been working extremely hard throughout this lockdown, and I hope that we can all get that break, whether it be in the UK, abroad, or whatever it is that you love to do, to be able to just relax and take a moment to feel like yourself again. So yeah, thanks for watching again, everyone. This has been the travel news for this week, and I hope you tune in again next week. Remember, click on the subscribe button if you haven't already, and the alert notification bell to be notified of any videos we release, and we'll see you again next week. For all your travel needs, head to traveljumble.com and we'll help you get the best deals on flights, hotels and attractions. And you can also follow us on Facebook and on Instagram.